Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Morning Bulletin here on the Blood Red channel. I'm your host, Edward Kay. Joining me this morning is Jamie Findlater, and today we are, of course, going to be going back over the 2-0 win in the Merseyside derby for Liverpool over Everton on Saturday. We'll start up top, Jamie. Obviously, Darwin Nunez didn't quite get the nod to start up top. I think a lot of people maybe hoping to see him bring that chaos that he brings to that Everton backline. I mean, I know if I was a centre-back, I certainly wouldn't want to be playing against him. Not that I'd want to play against Diogo Jota particularly either. Jota had an all right game, didn't he? But I think we're all clamouring for Darwin Nunez to come on by the hour mark. He came on, got another assist to Mohamed Salah. Didn't get himself a goal, but he's done plenty of that already this season. I think it's great to see the assist, the creative side of his game flourishing as well as that finishing, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're almost at a point now with Liverpool where we're almost seeing like a first choice front three now with obviously Salah and Diaz either side of Nunez. And I think that Nunez has kind of, maybe not established himself yet because obviously he's still got Gakpo and Jota behind him and obviously they'll provide good backup. But I think Nunez is starting to show that he is finding his feet a little bit with this team and he's sort of getting what Klopp wants him to do. I think you saw the impact he made on Saturday as well. Obviously, he makes a huge difference. Obviously, there's that whole thing of him creating chaos, that sort of thing in defences, but there is a bit more to his game now, and I think we're starting to see a player who actually looks like he knows what he's doing in this team and knows what the manager wants of him. So I think we're at a point now where Nunez has kind of become the almost first choice, and it's on Gakpo and Jota now to dethrone one of those front three, and obviously that's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, spot on. It's a very good problem for Jurgen Klopp to have with that front three. But sticking with that, Mohamed Salah, I mean, I think everyone would agree probably not his best game in a Liverpool shirt, but still emerges with 2 goals, doesn't he? The only 2 of the game. I mean, when it comes to goal scoring, he is just an unstoppable force. And it's Jurgen Klopp saying in his press conference after the game, it doesn't seem like he'll ever stop. And at the moment, it doesn't feel like he will, does it, Jamie?
No, not at all. And I mean, you look at all the kind of goals he's been involved in this season, not just scoring, but the assists as well. He is vital to this team. And you can sort of see now, I mean, obviously there was silly money kind of being thrown around by Saudi Arabia in the summer. Obviously, Liverpool clear on how important Salah is to the team. Obviously, he is 31 now, be 32 next year. But at this moment in time, you still kind of look at him as your talisman, as your man to get the goals, especially in a game like that where it's not completely obvious where they're going to come from because you're up against a team down to 10 men, obviously backs to the wall, and they're going to defend for their lives to try and get that point. So having someone like Salah, I mean, even Diaz as well, actually running out of defences and, eventually getting that penalty, and then obviously Salah in the right place at the right time at the end to wrap it up on the break. So, yeah, Salah is vital to this team, and long may it continue, really.
Yeah, we'll round out the attacking discussions with a word on that man on the left-hand side, Luis Diaz. I mean, again, not his brightest game in terms of assists, goals, production, things like that. But I have to say, I thought it was very clever wing play the way he manages to get Ashley Young sent off. I think as soon as he got that first yellow card, a lot of us would have been thinking he could be in trouble here up against Diaz for another 75 minutes, and probably a nice boost for Diaz to contribute to the win in that way after what seemed like it might have been a bit of a tough international break with him with Colombia, obviously missing that penalty. And yeah, nice for him to get a bit of a confidence boost now he's back with the Reds.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, for my money anyway, I thought Diaz actually played quite well on Saturday. Obviously he was involved in the 2 biggest kind of moments in the game, but obviously Canate, I'm sure we might talk about that. But yeah, I mean, being involved in the 2, moments that kind of define the game. And I mean, you've got bear in mind as well that Young's first booking as well was a foul on Diaz again. So he's played a huge part there in basically getting Everton down to 10 men. And I mean, you could argue that match actually made things a bit harder for Liverpool because they Everton basically had no choice then but to kind of shut up shop. So maybe it was maybe not to Liverpool's benefit on that occasion, but at the same time, you just can't deny that kind of play, and he's involved in the build-up for the penalty as well. Obviously, his ball that gets handled. So for me, I thought Diaz played well, and it is good to see him, getting involved in the win, getting involved in the penalty or whatever it was after the international break, where it does seem like Colombia are perhaps leaning on him a bit too much and expecting a bit too much from him. Almost a bit like, a Mane or a Salah when they're with their national teams as well. And I think it'd be good for him just to build up a bit of confidence at Liverpool, hopefully get a few goals. I mean, obviously he should have one more, as we know from Tottenham, but for me, he has played well this season, and I see him as that kind of first choice on the left now, and I don't see him being dethroned anytime soon, really.
Yeah, Colombia's manager, I think, touched on, following that penalty miss, I think he touched on the fact that Luis Diaz is viewed as a bit of a saviour in their country at the moment when it comes to football. So, obviously, like you say, something Mohamed Salah's used to, but not everyone can sort of take on that pressure. It might take him a little while to get used to it. But we'll move on to the refereeing incidents, which we've already sort of alluded to throughout this stream. I can't imagine you're going to find much sympathy on this channel for Ashley Young for either of those yellow cards, nor for Michael Keane for that penalty, because I think all three of those incidents were stonewall, really. The one that maybe Liverpool did get away with. What do you think about Konate, Jamie? I have to admit, I think in the context of the game, with Everton already being down to 10 men, I think he was probably a bit lucky not to get a second yellow there. What do you reckon?
Definitely, very lucky. I was quite amazed when I saw he wasn't going to get a booking, to be honest. As soon as he kind of pulled back Beto, you do just sort of think, oh no, he's in trouble here. And I mean, Jurgen Klopp practically admitted it straight away by Ken Matipon straight away. So I think everyone in that ground and everyone watching knew that he was lucky. Quite how the referee decided that it wasn't a booking, I'm not quite sure. But Liverpool haven't had the rubber green recently with referees, obviously with VAR decisions as well. So maybe it was just due. They were just due one. There is that thing of decisions evening themselves out over the course of the season. I don't necessarily go along with that, but on this occasion, maybe that's just a kind of case of things leveling themselves out a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah, I have to admit, I did think that that's probably one for the refereeing decisions, balance them out brigade, isn't it, really? But yeah, Liverpool not had the rub of the green, as you say, in recent weeks. It's nice to be on the correct end of some decisions with those yellow cards and the penalty, obviously, but maybe got away with one with Konate. But I mean, as you said, Everton going down to 10, 11v11, we were so clearly the better side. I think them going down to 10, if it had gone to 10v10, honestly think it might have even become harder for them, because Liverpool were at their most dangerous when Everton were on the attack, and that obviously ceased to be the case once they went down to 10 men. But we'll touch on the defensive performances, obviously managing to get a clean sheet, which is a fairly rare thing this season, really. I wanted to touch on the performance of Costa Simas at left back. Obviously, he departed after an hour with Liverpool sort of wanting to chuck another attacker on, go for it a bit more. We're going to be relying on him a lot more with Andy Robertson out, but a lot of people, myself included, didn't really think he had the best game necessarily. And Joe Gomez came on and did a pretty good job at left back. I know Jurgen Klopp's been insistent that he can play there. So do you think we might find that there's a bit more of a battle to see who's the number one left back up between Costa Simas and Joe Gomez than we might have expected when we heard Andy Robertson was going to be out?
I think so. I think I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Joe Gomez playing a left back on Thursday, for example. How it all kind of works out, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be that surprised to see it, because I think Klopp's maybe looking at the situation and thinking, well, I'm not going to get an out-and-out replacement for Robertson, but I need to get the next best thing, basically. And Tsimikas, as you say, on Saturday, wasn't his best game. I think he is capable of better, and I think from an attacking point of view, he maybe does offer a bit more than Gomez in that position. but at the same time, do you really need that attacking outlet at the moment with the way Liverpool are setting up, with obviously Trent doing the inverted role? So it's whether it suits Liverpool best at this moment in time. And I think, especially with Robertson out now, and it looks like it's going to be a lengthy absence as well. So do you bring Gomez in and just almost tell him to sit back a little bit, maybe not as attacking as Robertson is, so that you can get Trent involved a bit more? So, I don't know, but for me, Tsimikas hasn't done enough there to kind of show that he should be, the first choice, understudy or what have you. So at this moment in time, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Gomez either come in on Thursday or maybe even at the weekend.
Yeah, spot on. I don't think Tsimikas has quite cemented that spot yet, but obviously there'll be plenty more chances to do so. It looks like Andy Robertson's going to be gone for about 3 months, I believe. And Klopp said it was going to be in his embargo section, obviously needing surgery on that shoulder. So we'll bring you any news we have about that, obviously, as soon as we have it here on the Blood Red channel. But that is all we've got time for here on the Morning Bulletin today. So, Jamie, thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you next time.